The first, at the very top, not even part of the iceberg, it's floating above, is the official Investopedia definition of a recession, which is pretty much 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. So you can think of the dot-com bubble in March 2001 to November 2001, or the housing market collapse, and
Did we have
also
a
the Great
recession during
Recession.
COVID,
We
or was
did.
it just 1 quarter? No, it was more than 1?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe it's technically a recession because the first quarter, Q1 2020, ended in the red, and it continued
Be
into
surprised if
Q2.
there was enough government spending during COVID that would have kept GDP flat. But if you're
Yeah,
looking at it,
I just
Well, it
AI'd
all
it. February
rebounded.
2020 to April 2020, which was the shortest recession on record.
Wow.
huh,
Wait, how can it lasted only 2 months? How I thought it had to be 2 quarters.
Yeah, wait, that's maybe ChatGPT is a
I will
standard.
say when I was thinking about ideas for recession indicators, it was kind of just things that have been happening for the last, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. Kind
Yeah.
of feels like it's been in a tailspin for the last while. So it was kind of hard. I just kept thinking of things that are just they've just been happening and stacking up.
Well,
Who
according
I
to
wanted to
this, Taylor, oops, anything you want is a recession indicator.
Mm.
I wanna ask who comes up with the definition of a recession? Is there some
Probably
wizard?
the Fed. I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah, probably the Fed or
I
the
could look it up.
I think it's the National Bureau of Economic Research.
So it's just a person. Okay.
I mean, it's a group, an organization.
But it
Okay.
sounds like they could just tell you you're not in a recession right now.
It's kinda
they
crazy.
could
Yeah, I
change the
guess that's true.
definition of what GDP is or
For
adjust some
instance, if we were to hit
things.
2 quarters, could they just change the definition?
So if
In
we don't
theory,
count the
yeah.
COVID if we don't count the COVID craziness, it's been 17 years since a recession. That sounds way too long.
Sounds like they're just moving the goalposts.
The goalposts, yeah.
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 People are working 3 jobs as door dashers and
Oh.
rents $2,000, $3,000. Whatever.
Mhm.
Give a shit.
All right, here's some quick ones. So, we got shrinkflation here, and to represent shrinkflation, we've got Vito Spatafore from The Sopranos, who very notably shrank down. I think it was in the 5th season of The Sopranos when
Worst season of
yeah,
television.
when he also came out
Said
of
he
the
was gay,
closet.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season of
But
television.
we've got the same Vito, it's just less quantity of Vito. We've also got an increase in car accidents. And the reason for this being is that the population of cars is aging, declining in quality. People aren't replacing their tires or getting repairs done to save money. And as a result, cars are breaking down on the road.
Do you think it's also texting while driving and also people
Mm,
not caring if they crash
Or
or not?
prompting while driving.
yeah, prompting while driving.
Officer, I wasn't texting while driving. I was making another iteration of Dirty Old Pig Boy.
The officer would take particular offense to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my version of Dirty Old Pig Boy went triple platinum while I was driving.
What if dirty old pig boy is what makes us break big?
And you get bonus points if you know what this car crash is from. Does anyone know? Taylor doesn't.
Is
I
that
know.
from Blowout?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
thought it looked familiar.
Um, and then another recession indicator is an increase in the number of people who are getting their real estate license.
Oh, is that true? Is that on the rise?
Well, it's also a jab at one of the co-hosts as well.
Dante, triple stash.
Yeah,
Not too
Monte
over there.
Leone. Yeah.
Crash one is interesting. I don't think I ever thought about that, but it's true. Across across the whole country, you could definitely pick that up.
Yeah.
Nationwide.
There's some weird drivers out on the road. I see
Yeah.
people just stopping in the middle of when I was in Ocean City, I would just go for walks at night and people would just be stopped in the middle of the street in their cars, not
They're
moving.
glitching.
Dude, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on.
What's going on, big guy?
Yeah, I'm very thankful I don't have to drive every day. There are plenty of characters on the PATH train at subways, though.
Yeah.
It's a significant increase in my frustration
Oh.
whenever holy shit.
What the fuck?
Sorry. What's that, Taylor?
Oh, whenever the old
heard that.
boomers from up north whenever the old boomers from up north come down to Florida when it's that time of year, the roadways get increasingly more dangerous because they just have no idea what they're doing. They can't
Ooh.
see. Their
They have no
brains are
idea.
rotted out.
You think they know? You think they're a bunch of fucking morons?
I mean,
Yeah, that's scary. I would not want to be on the roads in Florida.
you ever going down the highway and there's a boomer in front of you and you know it's a boomer because they're going
Yes.
30 miles an hour.
Yeah,
You can
whenever I'm
definitely
driving,
profile the age based on
So-
how bad they're driving,
just
or
driving
what
some
kind of
old
bad driving they're
sedan.
doing.
You know it's a boomer.
all right, let's keep working our way down. So we've got the Big Mac index here, which is a fairly popular measuring tool of the PPP, triple P, purchasing power parity. Also a recession indicator if you compare the price of a Big Mac in your country compared to other countries, you can gauge how well your local currency is doing. And actually, Trav, I was curious if you went to a McDonald's when you were in Alaska, because apparently a Big Mac in Alaska costs upwards of $65,
Okay.
which
Okay.
is
Yes.
shocking.
Yes, I did go to McDonald's in Alaska. I don't think it was $65.
Damn.
What's the
internet
source?
lied to me.
Wait, what's the source on that? I mean,
Let's
shit
see.
was expensive in Alaska, but it wasn't that expensive.
Is that a tab of red tube I
What?
see? Dante, you
Oh,
might
yeah,
be
okay.
might be
You might have missed.
Wait a second.
I mean, maybe in
Poison in the
maybe
well.
like
What's
if
going
there's a
on?
big McDonald's on the Bering Sea.
Wait, I need to find this. The claim that Big Mac costs $60 in Alaska is false. I'm a boomer, everyone. I fell for it. I fell for it.
The next
Boomer.
slide Dante's gonna pull up is gonna be a shark jumping out of the water with legs and eating a boomer. Did you guys see this on
Literally says right
Facebook?
there. Literally says right there. Context: the $60 figure likely stems from a misconception or misinformation.
Oh,
I mean, $12 is still pretty crazy.
No, stuff is expensive. Look up. Hold on.
Do you guys like
let me-
the clip
Let me
of
find a
Dario
restaurant.
getting buzzed?
That was really good. I like that.
How do you run the biggest or one of the biggest AI companies and you have no idea how to speak in public?
Ooh,
Crazy.
that's rough.
I'm trying to find a restaurant to. All right, look up Cajun Corner, Anchorage. Just as an exhibit A for prices in Alaska.
Let's see their menu.
Pull up that menu. Yeah, pull up that menu.
Their menu is just a
what the
picture. That's such shit.
What
Bucket.
I might
Let's
have it
see
on.
what TripAdvisor says.
Looks
Do they have
nasty.
their own website?
Got good
You pull it up
reviews,
on Yelp.
mostly
Pull it
5
up on.
stars.
Will it come up on Yelp?
Here we are. We're
Oh
on
yeah,
Yelp.
menu.
Menu, popular dishes, king crab legs.
I'll tell you what. You
What
keep
the
the pictures
fuck?
up. Let me pull the prices up
Is
here.
that live?
Sauce
Okay.
on the shell?
It's fucking
What the
nasty.
fuck?
It's for
All
our
right, here
audio
we go.
listeners. There's king crab
That's
legs
gross.
covered in ketchup or something with lime on the side.
Wow,
Nasty.
look at this. The
Run the
aroma,
true
the
man.
aroma.
Crawdaddy Jackson review.
All
They
right,
also
Cajun Corner prices. Build your own bucket. Tiger shrimp, $30. Crawfish, $25. Cajun Corner platter, $160.
whoa.
Wow.
Family feast, $300. A side of fried okra, $16.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they don't fuck around in Alaska with the prices. It's pretty crazy.
How much is the red beans and rice?
The red beans and rice is
Fat guy
see,
Evan.
a half side of red beans and rice is 8 and a full size is 18.
Whoa.
And just a full side of rice is $15.
What the hell? $15 for rice?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, they don't
Well,
fuck around in Alaska with the prices. It's bad.
damn. Well, I gotta go get lobotomized next week anyway, so hopefully that'll fix this.
Yeah, no, the $60 for the Big Mac is not quite true, but the sentiment is true.
And here's a little Ronald presiding over everyone,
Beautiful.
our great nation.
Is this based on the painting we were talking about, Dante, of the woman going across America?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if we can
nice.
enlighten our viewers. American progress, everyone. American progress.
Very good.
Men's underwear sales. So, in times of tightening economic, whatever you want to call it, men tend to purchase less underwear. So, if you ever happen to
I
be
can
in a
attest.
Macy's or,
I'm on that.
yeah, I don't honestly remember the last time I bought underwear,
Yeah.
but
That's what I'm saying. I think it's been years.
I mean, I have, a good number of pairs that are in good shape, so why bother?
yeah.
I
And
will
I
say
think,
I recently did something. I threw out all my socks because I was tired of
whoa,
having to match different kinds and just bought about 25 pairs of the same exact sock. Now I have a sock
That's
bin,
based.
so I don't need to match
That's
any.
that's really
that's so
nice.
based.
Yeah, I feel like most men already subscribe to
You feel
the
like
what?
that you feel like,
I feel like I'm a
but
dirty
like
old pig
I'm
boy
busting
rolling
your
around in
leg.
the grime and the muck. But most men, I think, will wear their underwear and socks. I think the socks that I'm wearing right now have a pretty gigantic hole in them, but I'm still wearing them because it covers 95% of my
I
foot.
throw them out. Throw them out if I have a hole.
I probably should throw them out.
I can
But I
feel the
think
hole throughout the day.
most American men at least, will wear their underwear until it disintegrates.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good of an indicator this one is. I think it does make sense in
The
on
logic
paper.
behind it, because
Yeah.
it's a kind of a superfluous thing to spend money on
I think Walter White
most
has
of the
to
time.
get a better pair of undies though. The whitey tighties.
Mm.
Whitey tighties are rough. Okay, these two I think are pretty interesting. The first one is changes in the tones of television commercials, typically in times of tightening economic conditions. companies will change their advertising scheme from something comical and lighthearted and funny to something more serious. I think I feel like I've seen that pretty frequently. If I can think back to my childhood days in 2008 America, I remember seeing commercials go from lighthearted, funny to our company is part of your family. And you still see it a lot today. I think it was pretty big in the COVID recession during the lockdown. A lot of companies started making commercials about how we're stronger together and yada, yada, yada. So I do think that this is a pretty good indicator of an economic recession, especially if you see companies that do really well on paper and then all of a sudden they change their whole tone to the public market to something more serious.
I can't speak too much to this. I actually blocked ads on everything. I watch no
Mm.
TV, but this sounds plausible.
The other piece here is there's no or hardly any novel movies or TV show ideas in Hollywood, which can signal that a lot of the big studios don't want to take risks on projects that maybe won't pan out the way that previous projects had panned out. So instead of investing in new and unique ideas, they just pump out sequel after sequel after sequel of slop. And
Mhm.
people will go to the movies and buy tickets just based on the name recognition of the whatever the franchise is, which I think is pretty sad.
It's sort of like how some people will remix the same song 20 times
Hmm.
instead of releasing something new.
See, I don't I don't see that as as sequels. I think I think we created 12 brand new songs just using the same lyrics. It's all in the same vein of Dirty
Might
Old
be right.
Pig Boy, but I
You're
think each one is novel in its own right.
true.
Anyone have any thoughts on this? Any sequels in particular that were
I
especially
mean,
atrocious?
I said this on one of the last episodes. The Avatar 3 was literally the exact same movie as Avatar 2. Red Letter Media has made a lot of videos making fun of all these sequels. They're all generally pretty bad. They're still making Avengers movies somehow. And I think they're
Even
actually bringing
original
back
movies,
the died.
even original movies that are coming out are things like Dracula,
Yeah,
like things based on
Frankenstein.
really old
Building,
things.
yeah,
Frankenstein,
not
Wuthering Heights.
building a whole new cinematic universe, but they're just taking rehashing somebody else's leftovers kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like that. I want to see new things to sate
You don't
my
want a
deep-stated hatred.
25. You don't want 25 Avengers movies.
We already have 25 Avengers movies.
Yeah, those movies suck.
Nor do
We,
I want more Jurassic Park or Star Wars. Yeah.
yeah, there's not gonna be any new movies. Dante and I
Mm-mm.
were big
I saw
fans of a
some.
new movie, but it didn't make very much money. So
Yeah, see that's another thing, is
never
that
do.
it makes sense. I mean, if the companies don't advertise or market the movie, it's probably not gonna do well.
Well, the silver lining is that pretty soon anybody will be able to make a movie.
True. We could probably recreate Testament of Annalee just with Suno,
We probably could.
which is really
We
scary
should
to
make
think
a.
of.
Do you think we should try and make a short film about Dirty Old Pig Boy?
Yes,
Okay.
big boy.
100%. 100%.
I'm dirty.
All right.
Before
Well,
in the blue.
we've made it under the surface. Does anyone have anything they want to add to the top, to the above the surface tip of the berg
Let me flip
before
through
we
my list really
before
quick.
we go any deeper?
I do have one thing that I think would fit up on that first layer. I've got on here $5 meal deals.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You notice when slop like fast food places the ads start talking about value and everything is like, geez. Geez, dude.
Back. The buzzer is back.
Ah, jeez,
The
dude.
buzzer's back. Everything is talking about value and how much you can get for a buck. And I think that's a telltale sign that at least the companies think that you're struggling. So they know what's going on.
You gotta stretch that dollar.
Are there any metrics on what people are studying in school or graduation unemployment rates? I know it's probably really hard to get a job right out of college right now.
Here's one. I don't know. I don't know if it would go into the top of the iceberg. What about the fact that when I go into fast food restaurants, nobody's wearing a uniform. They're just wearing normal clothes.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's really good.
But that's pretty good. Well, no one gives a shit about their jobs, so
Exactly.
whenever you're getting food and the people are laughing and joking with each other, you're about to get poisoned.
What I have heard when I was still in college, some of the professors would say the accounting profession has more people joining in times of recessions or economic uncertainty. And then when the economy is good, less people are signing up for accounting degrees.
Oh, and are more people signing up?
I don't know.
Well, I feel
The
that
profession is
AI
shrinking.
You got to get the inside scoop, Taylor. All right, we got a couple quick ones here. Couple rat-a-tat indicators. I think this, frankly, should be even lower, but I don't think it's that bizarre or out of pocket. Betting is literally everywhere. You can bet on anything. The
I
screenshot
can't
I
think
took,
of anything more destructive to society than these like polymarket call she things.
Yeah, these like polymark things.
in the
Will
screenshot I
Donald
took.
Trump say,
Oh,
Will
is that what
Donald
you're
Trump
reading?
say the R word?
I've heard that this is actually a very good strategy to make a lot of money because there's some bets that are pretty obviously going to be one way.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what all gamblers say?
It's
It's gonna land on black this time.
I mean, it's not random.
What did you say?
It's random what a roulette wheel will land on, but not who's going to be the president. If you have enough data, you should be able to pick that.
Have you guys heard of the if you just keep doubling down, you'll eventually win strategy?
I've thought about that.
Chasing your losses.
Well,
I like that one.
If it wasn't for casino max bets, that would be a valid strategy because if you lost $1 and then you just bet 2 and you lost 2 and then you bet 4 and then 8 and then 16, eventually you'd win it all back.
You'd have to be very unlucky, astronomically unlucky not to win it all back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have to get to the point where it's more than your mortgage.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. I think casinos to prevent you from doing this will institute a max bet, unfortunately.
Oh.
Very sad. But yeah, the betting
language slave.
the betting is everywhere. Sports, politics.
Dude, it's on I don't have Robinhood, but I heard it's on the Robinhood dashboard.
Yeah.
Probably. What do you think the psychology behind it is? I feel that it's just a big hit of dopamine and excitement that you might get your bet.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I really
people
think
I work with are constantly betting.
Yeah. We were just talking about this, Travis. Like everybody in our age bracket is just obsessed with gambling.
Yeah, they do.
But
they've Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, you can go.
Oh, they've got the slot machines on your phone now. You just hit and the bets on the slot machines can go up to so much. I was watching somebody do it on their Hard Rock app. Every time they hit the button to spin the slot machine on their phone, it was $100.
Jesus.
Yeah.
My God.
People weirdly have a lot of money just blow on betting. People casually throw down $50, $100 on blackjack or something.
I think the way they do it to keep you involved is on this that slot thing in particular. Every now and then you'll win, say, $5,000. You can just keep hitting it. So you lose the money over a long term. It's not as if you just blow it all at once and then get frustrated.
Mm,
They give you enough success to keep you playing.
it's a
I
slow
mean,
burn.
if you didn't have a podcast to be on or something, what else? What else would you do? You've already graduated college. Your work's stable. You have nothing else in life to aspire
I
to.
guess I'd be doing my 100th attempt at WoW Hardcore Classic.
Oh, we should go over that. Travis has perished in Hardcore Classic,
Oh no.
Did, yeah.
Yeah.
betrayed by
How
a
far did you
gnome.
make it?
Level 15?
14. It was
Probably about 10 to 12 hours of grinding down the drain.
Damn,
very sad.
Yeah.
it's brutal.
I wish we were streaming when he died, but we weren't. It was horrible.
It was pretty horrible. But anyway,
Good thing-
yes, betting is everywhere.
Yeah, good thing
It's
you didn't bet
nefarious.
on yourself to beat World of War Hardcore. You probably could. You probably could message. I'm sure there's a way to create bets that aren't
Probably.
already available on these apps.
Well, yeah. Have you guys heard the CEOs of these companies how they say they're actually not destroying society and how they'll actually be very useful?
What is their reasoning?
I'm gonna probably botch it a little bit, but I was listening to one of them talk about how he's basically saying a bet on Polymarket could replace Uber Eats, and he was saying
What?
you he was saying you could go on Polymarket, create a bet that says, I bet somebody won't deliver a McDonald's Happy Meal to my door by 5 o'clock today. And anybody that wants to earn the money on the bet could deliver that McDonald's meal to you and claim the claim the money that they wagered.
Wow.
And so
Holy shit.
I mean these people are evil and brain dead
That's
and think
insane.
that's how a society should work, that you should bet that you're so
God.
ridiculous.
Ah, jeez, dude.
I don't really have words.
I-
What a depressing
They're
society.
evil people. But I do think that the gambling thing, when you take away anybody's shot of even having a decent life, for some people, even if they're not explicitly rationalizing it this way, why not just swing for the fences if you're going to be in poverty otherwise? Just be in like double poverty because you're losing money on Polymarket, but maybe you'll make a lot of money on one of the bets.
I mean, some people
Wow.
do. And people have been buying lottery tickets forever. So I think
That
there's
is
always
true.
hope in America that I'm going to get ahead of everyone else by luck and it's all going to work out. I'll leave
Bottom
everyone
of
else
the
behind.
barrel.
I'll
It's a
land
race
big
to
on
the
the spot.
bottom.
Yeah.
One big race to the bottom. All right. Another indicator that I haven't found much online saying that this is an indicator, but I think it's a pretty big indicator, is that all of these communications companies like Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, they will give you pretty much free phones so long as you pay for their services. And I think this is one of the ultimate ways to just extract more and more money from the populace, from the plebes. If someone has like an old, outdated phone, they're probably not able to spend as much as someone who has a brand new high tech phone. So, what these guys have concocted is just giving free phones to everyone and their mother. So that way they can get to spending.
You think
Download
that
the
the
latest Poly
technology
Market.
of the phone is letting them spend more?
I think so. I think it makes it much easier for people to
They're
spend
definitely
when they have
just
a new
faster.
phone.
The new ones are faster in general.
You,
So
you couldn't you couldn't download the new Poly Market app on like an iPhone 5.
Mm-mm.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
I saw the buy now, pay later stuff.
Look at this. Look at this. Do you see that? Do you know what that
Whoa, is
is?
that a button?
That is a
holy shit!
button
Holy shit!
on my iPhone. It is the ultimate
I,
betting proof device.
I will
Truly.
say, as someone who worked on the audit for one of the companies you named earlier that I will not
Mm,
explicitly name, they
very good.
make an absurd amount of money on trade-ins.
Really?
When you give them an old sack of shit phone, they make a tremendous amount of money giving you a brand new
Wow.
piece of technology and taking your hunk of garbage.
Wow.
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's absurd.
Man,
Yeah, they're just siphoning every last penny they can. They've gotten
it's
very
gotta
good at
feel
that.
it's gotta feel good though to
Yeah, these guys.
just surrender to
My
Poly
God.
Market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bought my last phone. I just went to the Apple store. I just bought it cash because I didn't want to deal with contracts and nonsense.
It takes about 4 hours to buy a phone because they're just trying to
What?
get you to sign up for every little thing. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
And
help that you're working with the most mischievous, slimy people in the world
yeah,
in
they're
those
trying to get
Are
you
you
to
stores.
talking
sign up
about?
for Disney Plus. It's so stupid.
Are you talking about like an AT&T store or at Apple?
TNT or Verizon.
Oh yeah, you just got to go to Apple and just buy the phone. So much better.
You're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do it that way, it's such a liberating experience. When I was in Japan and I had to switch phone carriers, I just called AT&T and said I want to cancel my phone service, and they had to just cancel it that exact day. And I wasn't on a contract, so there was nothing they could do. Just such a liberating experience. But I
Wow.
digress.
It's very freeing. The opposite of free would be private equity companies buying up practically all of middle America. Suburban homes, single family homes, buying them all up, putting their mortgages into collateralized debt obligations, selling them off on the stock market,
I drink
also
it up.
also constraining the supply of housing in the market. They pretty much have total control over the housing market and pricing. It's really scary,
I slurp
pretty
up your house,
disheartening.
Dana.
I don't know how long this has been going on for, but I feel like in the past couple years it's been widely publicized, and something's gonna break sooner or later. Something's gonna break
Nah,
because frankly, I think I trust some guy in the middle of America who doesn't know what he's doing and gets approved for a second mortgage on a second house. I think I trust that guy more than the fat cats at the PE firms buying up tens of thousands of houses all around America. If you catch my drift.
That's that's another really interesting idea that I've seen some people talk about too with the private equities impact is you're not dealing with individual sellers that don't have as much information. You're dealing with this giant machine that's able to really efficiency max the price on every single parcel,
Mm,
and there's no motivation for them to sell because it's a portfolio for them.
Well
Well, aren't
played.
people also investing in real estate in sort of these mutual funds where you can own real estate with BlackRock or something? I don't know too much
Yeah,
about it, but it
get
seems
invested in a REIT, real estate investment
Yeah.
trust, right?
don't need
Taylor,
to
do
own
you ever
property
deal with
units.
those?
Now, but I used to. I used to be really into those.
I saw you could trade that in your IRA. It seems stupid though, so I didn't do it.
I don't think it's ever going to
During
change.
COVID, I was short selling REITs, and that
Holy
was good.
shit.
That was
Holy
good times.
shit. God damn. You could probably triage that by making a bet on Polymarket against it, if you know what I mean. You can short it
Oh,
in the stock market, and then you can bet against your short position on Polymarket.
damn.
That's
That's a
insane.
good hedge.
That's really insane. Uh, well, hopefully these next few are a little less depressing. Anyone have anything else they want to say about these three horsemen of the apocalypse? All right.
Not particularly.
All right, we got a couple more rat-a-tat indicators here. First one being tipping, which is also everywhere, similar to betting. And this really strikes me as something that could be the downfall of it all. There is a convenience store at the path station where I go every day to get to work. And occasionally I'll hop in there to buy some protein slop or a drink or something of that type. And every time I make a purchase there, I'm prompted to leave a tip at a convenience store. I'm not buying anything that they are preparing. They don't even have the capabilities to prepare food there. Yet I'm prompted with the option to leave them a tip, which is insane, frankly.
It's the same thing when I go to airports. It's the same thing. Every single store at an airport, when you
Mm,
go to do it, they turn it around and it prompts you 18, 20, or 22%.
Do you ever feel the pressure where someone behind you can see what you're doing?
yeah,
And I always put no tip, and I get a sense I got somebody looking over my shoulder thinking, how dare he?
Yeah, that really grinds my gears.
I think I mentioned this on one of the previous shows, but Starbucks will ask for tips that are actually more than the drink itself.
really.
If you order a $4 drink at Starbucks, they'll ask you for a $1, $3, or $5 tip, at least at the place.
Oh, where'd that
Um,
place
So,
You
um,
see that? There's just what the fuck.
uh, chat.
Here's a very
Whoa.
infamous creation of Cretan Tarantino,
Yeah.
Mr. Pink.
Were there any feet in this movie?
Oh, it's a good question. I mean, this was his first movie. I don't remember or recall seeing any feet in
It
this
doesn't matter.
movie.
It doesn't matter.
But Mr. Pink is vehemently against tipping. But he's also a sleazebag, so don't be like him. Um, now we have subscription models as a new pricing model for practically anything in the market. And
no way there's a subscription for CPAP
there
machines.
there are subscriptions for CPAP machines. I could not believe it myself when I was looking it up. It very well could just be a payment plan for these CPAP machines, but it seems like they try to lock you in to keep paying them every month, whether it's for the machine itself or for the fluid and medicine that you put into it to help you sleep better.
They should
They,
outlaw subscriptions.
What
They
happens if
should
you
yeah,
don't pay? Do they just turn it off?
I mean, in this scenario, it's a little, it's a little hyperbolized in this scenario in the picture, thanks to ChatGPT. But it is really crazy. They want to take that money from you every month until you die.
One
Yeah.
that I've always found
Stuff
egregious is
is
the Tesla software subscription.
Mhm. Tell us
That's pretty
about that.
ridiculous. I mean, my understanding of it is that you buy the car, and if you want any of the self-driving capabilities, you have to pay exorbitant fees every month. I think it's a couple $100. You can look it up, but
Yeah.
that's insane. I did not know that.
Yeah, I included a picture of BMW got a lot of flack for this a couple of years ago when they started selling cars that had all of the features in them similar to Tesla. But in this case, if you wanted a heated seat, you would have to pay 15, $20 a month for that feature in your car to be turned on.
That's so
yeah,
fucked
I'm
up.
looking.
Crazy.
You had when you bought the car, you had the option to do a one-time fee of $8,000 for lifetime access, or $99 a month for
Jesus.
FSD, full self-driving.
Wow.
I find that's I may be devil's advocate. I could see why they do that.
Why?
Yeah, I can understand why, but
Well, would you build a different? You'd have to build a different car for everybody that wanted different things, and it's easier just to build one model of car and lock things behind feature flags.
I just think it's
You're
deceptive though,
saying,
because they advertise them as self-driving cars, and then that's not a base feature.
Well, there's a question of advertising, but in general, I don't like that you have to subscribe for things. I
but
think it should
also,
just be
I
you buy it and it'll turn it on for you if you want it.
well, also, what's to stop them? You buy this car, and you have some idea, oh, I'm buying this car, it'll be this amount of money. What's to stop them a year from now from saying now the self-driving is $300 a month?
Well, I don't think it should be monthly. I don't think anything should be monthly. Subscriptions suck. But I could see maybe if there was a one-time fee or something to turn it on.
But yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
Like,
It
like
$8,000.
a
kind of
general upgrade, but very deceptive, very smarmy.
I mean,
The investors want consistent monthly cash flows. That's the
rent-seeking
kicker.
behavior,
Yes.
truly, to the
yeah,
core.
I guess the monthly shit's bad, but I could see if you invested, I don't know, a few billion into self-driving, but you also want to provide a non-self-driving option, and it's easier just to wire every car you produce for self-driving. I mean, it sort of makes sense to me why you'd put it in the car and not allow it. But I don't like it being monthly because yeah, then they can
Yeah.
just up the subscription. I mean, though it is sort of a slippery slope, and it sounds like they're just putting everything behind these extra payments, and maybe they should just make one car with everything. I don't know.
Everything's
Why
just
would you need
hyper
to own
monetized.
anything? Why would you need to own anything when you can just pay a small monthly fee?
Yeah, and I wonder how that works on the resale market.
No
Advertising a
idea.
car that is fully loaded, has everything for sale by owner, and whoever buys it has to then pay a subscription fee to get their heated seat or self-driving capabilities turned on.
I mean, it's just a headache.
That's
Maybe
really funny.
I don't know. Maybe I disagree. Maybe I changed my opinion. Shit's all just a fucking headache. I also
Mhm.
don't know if you have a slide on everything just being a giant fucking pain to use. Every single app you need to log into, it needs to send you a push notification or something, or
Yeah.
6 people are always wondering, "Where's all my time going? Why is my time moving so fast?" Well, you're spending an hour a day to log into anything is one reason. It's outrageous. Also, some scammer on the other side of the world can't steal your information. Just
Yeah,
lame.
you have to give your private information to log on to pretty much any website or service
Yeah.
nowadays. Yep. Ye doggy. Dirty little pig boys.
I'm
The
dirty.
last
Even
one. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, this is something kind of new that has been bothering me. even non-software products are moving towards subscription pricing.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I
Very good. Very good. For example,
I used or I purchased a fiber supplement recently. It's called Liquid
Ooh.
Salad.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this
We're,
before, but
we do have a slide a little later on, not necessarily about
Wait,
subscriptions, but
liquid salad.
I do want to hear more about
yeah,
liquid salad.
it's just an easy way to get some
That's crazy.
fiber.
that's
But
wild.
if you buy it, it's more expensive than if you sign up for a monthly shipment to your house. So they cut you a 20% discount by just signing up for a subscription, and they ship you a month's worth to your house every month.
Can I describe the absolute scam that is Safeway groceries?
Yes.
Okay. Safeway is, I don't know if they have it on the East Coast. It's a grocery chain, at least in Washington. And yeah, pull it up, Jamie. So Safeway groceries, they charge pretty high prices, but the interior looks like it's from the 80s. It looks awful, and I hate going in there, but it's the closest grocery store that I can walk to, so I do end up often getting my groceries there anyway. Here's what they do. They have a real price on their items, and then they have a member price, right? So I've been here about a year in Washington, and they'll have, I often buy their ground beef, and they have the real price or the sticker price, which is, I don't know, $10 for something. And then they have the member price, the Safeway member price, and that's about $6. So it's sort of a trade off to me because I would always go and think, oh, I'll just pay the regular price. I don't think I buy enough groceries to warrant whatever membership there is. So I never got a membership. And then we see Safeway AI on the screen. What a
Oh my!
fucking joke.
Oh, I have to sign in.
Oh, sign in and then get a push notification, enter 6 digits while your precious time left in your life dwindles away. What are the 6 digits? And why is it 6? Is that not a little satanic?
What?
Anyway,
$6
That's
for
insane. That's an
ground beef?
insane business model, Nick.
okay. So then they have no, but I'm not done. So they have a membership, right? Oh, I look it up. I say, well, how much is this membership? Because maybe it's worth it. So I get their app, Safeway app, sign up, just give my information. They say, okay, yeah, you have the membership now. It's free. You just put in your info. So then I'm thinking, there's no way. I just got this free version of this app, and then I go to the checkout with my new Safeway app, scan it, about 15% off my purchase. I'm a Safeway member now.
Whoa!
Is that not the biggest fucking scam ever? You're literally paying 15% more for not getting a bullshit app.
Jesus.
And I was doing this for about a year. I feel absolutely fleeced.
Wow.
So bizarre. What like? Oh,
Can I interest you in now trying Fresh Pass for Safeway?
No. Look up the
You get
interior of
monthly
a Safeway.
exclusive.
One for up to 6 months.
Dude, look up the interior of a Safeway. It looks like shit, and they charge more than Whole Foods on some items. It looks worse than the Acme in Ocean City.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Oh, and now fuck this.
Oh, you have to subscribe.
Read the article anywhere. You have to pay
This is-
$50.
Jesus.
Jesus. Here's one.
Yeah. No, that one below. That one below. Look at that fresh bakery. Look at that fucking.
Oh.
Look at the font and the color scheme. It's so
Yeah.
depressing being in this place.
That looks like mid 90s.
Best grocery store runner-up
Runner
for
up.
2025? Jesus.
Yeah, look at that font
Wow.
straight from the 90s, man.
Wow.
The kind of font you see when you're sitting in the grocery cart and your mom's pushing you around.
And they're all and they're always selling fish. Who eats I would never buy Safeway fish. I might be done with Safeway after this, man. How is it legal to give a 15% discount for an app? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty
What do you guys-
ridiculous.
Fucking outrageous.
What do you guys
No,
think about
here-
fish?
I love
Yes.
fish. I love
The
rolling
joke.
in the mud with my fish.
I feel like anytime I order fish, I'm just disappointed.
Ooh,
I feel as though anytime I order fish, I'm disappointed.
I think yeah, I think you need fish fresh. It's
What did
generally
you say?
disappointing when you get it frozen. I don't know. It's so easy to mess up because it can get a little nasty and you don't know where it's
Fishy,
from. And
you might say.
I've heard yeah, I mean any farm raised fish you get, such as farm raised salmon, I've heard that they're just raised in basically these big nets and just eat each other's shit and are in the worst conditions ever. And then they put a really beautiful logo on the package and yeah, I don't know. I don't buy that much fish. I generally only get it if I can get it at a restaurant or something.
I'm
Oh.
with you. It's so easy to mess it up.
Yeah, I'm with you. Speaking of restaurants, our next
Ghost kitchens.
our next indicator is ghost kitchen.
Squallies.
Wait,
Pasquale's.
have we hit this drop? Wait, there's a drop. Have we hit this one yet about the subscriptions?
What?
With endless options for renewal. With endless options for renewal.
Oh, you're too much.
Truly
Yeah,
endless options for renewal, especially with your CPAP subscription.
yeah.
But yeah, ghost kitchens. I don't really know how I feel about ghost kitchens. I've never been
What
to
is
a
that?
ghost kitchen,
I think they're
so
deceptive. It's
they
very
definitely
evil
are
behavior.
deceptive. So I think ghost kitchens as a recession indicator, from my perspective, is if say you have a mom and pop diner, some restaurant that's local that you enjoy, you frequent often, and then all of a sudden, maybe you're having a night in, you just want to order takeout, and you go on your Uber Eats or your DoorDash or your Grubhub, and you're looking for a new place to try out, and something catches your eye, but it just so happens that it's at the same location as that mom and pop store that you love going to when you go out to get something to eat. And it's a totally different restaurant with a totally different menu, and that is a ghost kitchen.
The
You can't
image you
go
Is
in.
that
got here is
similar to when
probably
you're
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
I had ChatGPT create like a mom and pop backyard barbecue where the funds just ain't rolling in like they used to. So now they got to start selling Mr. Beast burger on Grubhub just to get through the month, which
So
is
is this
real
similar to when
sad.
you would be on Facebook Marketplace and you'd see somebody selling lumpia? A similar concept?
Oh, what's the lumpia?
What is lumpia?
No, you
Have
don't
you
know what
guys been to
lumpia
the
is?
Ocean City boardwalk recently?
Do they have a lumpia store?
There's several ghost kitchens on the boardwalk now.
Yeah.
I think actually across the street from the beach tagging office.
Bare feet? What the hell is Filipino lumpia bare feet? What?
Cretin Tarantino.
Bare
Oh,
Lumpia.
bare feet in the kitchen. Ooh, that's gross.
Have you guys never had lumpia before?
No.
no.
It looks kind
It's
of
pretty much
tasty.
it's pretty much an egg roll,
I
but
thought you were
it's
talking
rolled
about
up.
people selling peanuts and crawdad.
Peanuts. No, I have a good example of this in Tampa. I really don't. It just is such a weird concept. So there's a place
Boiled
called
peanuts and
West. Holy
sorry.
shit! No, this is crazy.
Yeah,
There's a
they
place
have that
called.
at a lot of gas stations near me, the boiled peanuts. Sorry, Taylor, go ahead.
Ugh, no, there's a place near me called West Shore Pizza, and on the surface, it's exactly what it sounds like, just a regular pizza place. They've got subs and whatever. But if you go on their website or if you show up in person, they have all these sub restaurants that work out of their kitchen. They're a lot less sneaky about it. You can order like Mikey P's chicken from West Shore Pizza. Like there's just so many weird little sub concepts within West Shore Pizza. It's very strange. And I don't know if that counts as a ghost kitchen because they're more explicit with it, but a very similar
Mm,
idea.
a Tampa Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Taylor. I get what you're saying. Ghost kitchens are specialized delivery only commercial facilities without storefronts or dining areas designed. Well, not all of them,
I
because
have heard of
there's a lot of mom and
places
pop shops that do that.
I've heard of places, this happened in Tampa a few years ago during COVID. Chipotle opened up a location that didn't have a customer facing business at all. It was just for Uber Eats pickups.
Wow.
So it was a full Chipotle kitchen. You couldn't actually go there and like pick up food. It was just for Uber Eats drivers to swing by, grab your order, and take it to your house. So
Wow.
Another thing, this is an ad hoc recession indicator by me, but I've noticed that there's a lot stricter security now when you're picking up an Uber Eats delivery.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys do. I get Uber Eats credits every month, and then I do pickup option to save on the delivery fees. And I've noticed that they've gotten very stringent on picking up your order. When you get to the store, you have to hit a button that sends you a code, and then they have to verify the code that they're seeing on their end to make
Whoa.
sure that you're not just stealing somebody else's Uber Eats order. So
Damn.
a little unrelated, but
no,
Yeah, I
that's
have not
definitely a
experienced
recession
that.
indicator. If there's enough people stealing food.
Mm-hmm.
we're combating those people, Taylor, who go into Starbucks and just grab drinks off the counter.
Oof.
Oh,
Yeah,
God!
those people are terrible.
What kind of monster would do this?
I've got a couple other ones to add on here as well. They kind of fit into this mold of subscriptions and ghost kitchens and Uber Eats and everything.
Hey, let's see.
Okay.
I've
Oh,
got
Taylor, if it's something that you shared with us like a month or so ago, save it.
oh yes,
Save it
that's
because
one of them.
it's coming up.
That's one of them. But I've got on here financing Uber Eats slop.
Oh, that's also coming up.
You could finance Uber
Oh,
Eats.
sorry.
Please hold your tongues,
Yeah,
bite your tongues.
sorry,
We'll be
Pep. I'm getting ahead of you.
we're not low enough on the iceberg yet, but I like the way you gentlemen are thinking. Next is Ninja Loans. Ninja Loans. So for those who aren't familiar, Ninja stands for no income, no job, no assets to qualify for a loan. And they're starting to pop up again.
Wait, is this real?
Whoa.
Yes, Ninja Loans is partially responsible for the Great Recession of 2008.
But what's the idea?
Interest
What
on
are you
these things like 45%.
The interest on them is pretty insane.
What are you supposed to pay the loan off with?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Who came up with this?
Some real wise guy came up with these Ninja Loans.
This creates a very
Wait, I'm
interesting incentive for you to kill your parents so that you can get a ninja loan and just use their money to pay for it.
Right? That's a
That's
do they do
terrible
a credit
idea.
check? Do they do a credit check so you can Klarna things, or do you just
Ooh,
do it?
I
I've
don't
never
know.
Klarna'd something before, but when they do the option to
Yeah.
Klarna your Amazon purchase, do you have to do a credit check?
let's
Klarna,
What's
Uber
Klarna?
Eats
let's
order
hold
is probably not mindful of their credit score.
yeah, let's hold all Klarna discussion until later on. But I just
Okay,
wanted to
sorry.
bring up that these loans are making a reappearance.
Do we have figures on how many people are getting them?
No,
This is crazy.
I don't think it's nearly as big as it
Wild.
was back in 2008 and before, but just the fact that you can go online and give some basic information about yourself, no real hard financial data, and you can get a loan funded with just the click
Can I
of
just make up
your
an
mouse.
idea? Can I get one for Walter Jackson or dirty old Big Boy?
You probably could, but then
My name is Walter Hardwell White.
you'd probably end up paying back like 10 times the amount that the principal of the loan was for. So I would not recommend it.
Wow.
Attractive wages.
450.
Do you like this
Oh,
attractive
nice.
wagey that I put
Well,
in
he's
the picture?
yeah. Describe to our listeners what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so we got a young Tony Manero working at the hardware store selling paint to a lady who I don't know if we discussed this. Maybe we did, but that's his mom. Did
That's
we
not his
touch on
mom.
that?
That's not his mom.
No, his mother in real life. It's John Travolta's mother.
Oh, really?
Let's verify this because
Well,
I
his
don't want
sister
to pull a
was
an
the pizza
Alaskan.
girl.
Is this another? Yeah, is this another $60 McDonald's Big Mac situation?
Yeah,
It
did you
very
get
well
the
could
burger
be.
at $60? And I don't know, dude. This doesn't really look like her. I think you've been punked.
Mm, maybe I was punked. I saw it on Facebook, so
Oh, it was on.
Yeah, we got to get you off Facebook.
Wow, wait, do you
Same
guys know
source with the $60 hamburgers.
wait, you guys know the Van Morrison song "Why Are You on Facebook"?
wait, that's not his. Is that really his mom?
It's a crazy
Why
ending.
does she look like she's grooming him?
Helen Celia Burke. Wow.
I think you fell for some fake news.
Yeah, that lady looks too old to be his mom. Maybe it's his grandmother.
Is that a really?
I'm gonna keep trying to prove this right.
Just give up. You're just a dirty old pig boy.
Big
Rolling in the-
boy. Rolling in the mud.
I'm a dirty old pig boy. Family tree of John Travolta. Whoa. Oh, sure. I like cookies. But yeah, attractive people in service jobs can be a sign of economic conditions worsening, being that there aren't more lucrative jobs. Because as George Soros once said, I'm going to refer everyone to our disclaimer at the beginning. But George Soros once said that only ugly people can work in service because the better jobs are reserved for only attractive people.
What is
So,
service in this context?
service can be anything: cashier, waitress, waiter, gas pump attendant.
Is it anything where you're interacting with a normal person in their everyday task?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I do notice I've seen some fairly attractive young women working as cashiers. I don't know what to make of it all.
Sign.
Oh, Mikey, what do you want? You want a pizza pie?
Do you guys want to hear a crazy story unrelated from NASCAR yesterday?
Yes.
There was a dude who was working at the information desk who was crotchety and old, and these two young women started walking past him with their dad, or started walking past the information booth with their dad, and this dude, in the most conspicuous way I've ever seen anyone do anything like this, whipped out his phone and was videoing them and zooming in on them and shit like he was Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, God!
He was not being discreet at all.
Fuck you!
Ah, jeez,
That is
dude.
disgusting.
What's going on, big guy?
I don't want to dox anybody, but was this the guy that did the taught driving when we were in high school?
Oh no, I think a different guy.
Yeah, different guy.
Holy shit.
He was a real cretin.
Oh, God, that word
You mean the
sends
you mean the same guy
shivers
who
down my
lost
spine.
his you mean the same guy who lost his job for punching a woman in the face unprovoked?
I mean, that man is just a hound dog
Oh
that
my
lives in
God.
my mind nonstop. It's just
Yeah.
what
Jesus.
the basement of what's in every man's brain.
Is that a recession indicator that NASCAR ticket booth information desk people are just shamelessly committing sex crimes in broad
Mm,
daylight?
I don't know. I feel like that's been around as long as
Such a
NASCAR's
gooner.
been around.
Did you confront him
You
over
might be right.
what's going on, big guy?
I did not, but Hannah and I were waiting for her brother and his girlfriend to show up. We are just standing there. I was like, babe, look, that dude's literally just zooming in on those girls. Look, he's taking a video. And she couldn't
Oh.
believe it either. It was just the most obvious thing ever.
That's gross. It's so fucking gross.
You should have frame mogged him. Like, what's going on,
Yeah.
dirty pig boy?
Dirty
Rolling in
little
the
pig
mud.
boy.
Are you rolling in the mud, pig boy? That's what I was thinking about, though. Sort of. I think I do feel that every man is really just a dirty old pig boy rolling
Yeah.
in the mud.
You gotta exercise your will to restrain the dirty old pig boy. Restrain the gooner working at NASCAR.
Mhm.
Do you think they know? You think they're a bunch of fucking morons?
Well said. Well said. Well, yeah. So be cautious of attractive wages. Might be a good time to liquidate your portfolio if you see quite a few of
Sell my Kava stock.
them. Yeah. This is one. This is a good one. So, I am not an avid LinkedIn user. I very seldom go on there.
I hate it.
But I do, for some reason, still get email notifications whenever someone in my network posts something, which is very annoying. And most of those emails I just put into my spam folder because I'm too lazy to figure out how to turn that off. But anyway, I feel like I've been noticing more and more lately that a lot of people who I have known to be quiet and reserved people begin posting very frequently on LinkedIn. And I think that this little meme of Gus Fring does a pretty good representation of what's going on here. But essentially, I think a lot of the people who have a random spike in LinkedIn usership are probably unemployed or close to being unemployed, and they're trying to pump up themselves online in a in a in a forum where potential employers can see them. So,
So this was one of my indicators in my notes. Actually, I had your entire network is doing LinkedIn learnings.
mm,
Never a good sign when people are just posting about bullshit certifications they're getting on LinkedIn from watching a stupid video.
Brag, but I've been very fortunate to never have to make a LinkedIn.
wow,
You're the
Still
luckiest
have that.
bastard to ever live.
that's amazing.
I still have that screen record video you sent us years ago saved on my phone of you deleting LinkedIn, Travis. Just, I thought it was so powerful. Every now and then when I'm feeling really battered, I go and watch it.
I
Can
had
you
it all
please
set up.
share that?
Got it all set up. I was getting ready to hop into the rat race, and then Uncle Sam decided he was going to take a crack at me instead. So I just deleted that zombie.
Ooh,
I hate LinkedIn. I think if there was one social media platform I could just delete off the face of the earth, it would be LinkedIn without any hesitation. It's absolutely horrible.
you'd be doing us all a great
I'm
service.
fortunate enough that it's sort of a perfunctory requirement for software. I've made one. I've never actually posted anything, and I don't go on it. If I'm ever applying to jobs, I just add it in the form where it says, "What's your LinkedIn?" And I've never had to do anything more than that. So I'm thankful. But it
Nice.
sounds like in accounting, it's worse, and in other industries.
Yeah.
I think it's just
It's
at the end of the day, humans just shouldn't tolerate this humiliation. You know, your life doesn't matter. None of this matters, and you're stressing over how you're going to come off on a LinkedIn post. Just don't do it. Delete the app.
Well said. Those are wise words.
Yeah.
Wise
Also,
words
I want to
indeed.
say,
Dante's
recent, oh, I was just going to say, recent computer science grads have a 6% unemployment rate.
Wow.
It's pretty bad. And of the people that are employed, I'm sure they're working less desirable jobs than were available a few years ago.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Anything to add, Taylor?
I was just gonna say, to your point, including this as a recession indicator, the more back against the wall you get, the more okay you are with degrading yourself on the internet
Mhm.
for good boy points with
Making
employers.
OnlyFans at that point. I don't know.
It's a very good point.
At
Very
least with
good point.
OnlyFans, you might actually make some money
But
degrading
I don't know.
yourself.
Work in the
We'll
trades.
get into that a little bit later. We'll
Just
get
join
into
the
that.
trades. You can make more as an electrician or something than degrading yourself like a little boy ghetto whore for big corporate. I don't. It's just disgusting.
Our next indicator is dynamic pricing. And recently, I found some video of the Chipotle CEO saying how they want to squeeze their top, uh, buzz me, demographic, I suppose is the right word, because most of the people who eat Chipotle are relatively high income earners. So as a result, they're going to try out this dynamic pricing to squeeze that demographic of
This
people.
is this similar to surge pricing, or is that a different term for it?
It's kind of like surge pricing, yeah.
Okay.
Surge pricing is, I think it's a very similar concept
Yeah.
where
All right.
during lunch hours, they're probably going to charge a higher amount
Yeah,
for
I
the
know
food.
Wendy's was thinking about
Yeah.
doing this, and I know. I mean, Uber does it all the time. It's been doing it forever. So
Hmm. Yeah, and same thing with these electronic price tags that I've seen popping up at a lot of places. Target,
Starting to
Walgreens.
do at grocery stores now, where they charge more at like 5 to 7 p.m. because you're on your way home from work and you're busy and you don't
Hmm.
care about the
yeah,
price.
this is like the surge pricing I was referring to. So. But what is the
Yeah.
definition of
I,
dynamic pricing to clarify the difference?
Dynamic pricing is just not having a fixed price for one any one
Mhm.
product. I'll pull up the Google AI definition for our online viewers. Strategy that adjusts prices in real time based on high demand and low supply, commonly used by Uber, Ticketmaster, and hotels to maximize revenue. It
That's
increases
fun.
costs during peak time to manage demand and supply, often resulting in higher fluctuating
I want to
prices.
also point out what's really fucked about this, at least for surge pricing, is if you're rich and don't have a job and you can go to the store whenever you want, or if you're more of a work from home cushy job, you can go whenever you want. But if you're working a 9 to 5 as a wage, you're gonna go to the store during surge pricing hours.
Yep.
gets at this gets at something. A lot of our topics today are getting at this, like erosion of the social contract between businesses and consumers.
It's not a
And
contract. It's a, I mean, it's a contract you get in Baldur's Gate with Raphael.
well, when you go into a restaurant and you see the menus on a screen, now you have to wonder. Before you don't have to, you just trust that they're charging you a fair amount, but now you kind of have to always look over your shoulder and wonder, am I getting scammed? It just increases this mental burden that you have to carry around always. There's always an avenue to get scammed now because the social contract is just being destroyed.
Yeah, I think it's a good rule, Scum, to just all
Rule of
that
scum.
good rule of thumb.
It is
to
a
just
good. It is a good rule of scum.
Rule of scum.
Wait, was that a Forrest Gump Freudian slip?
nerd Majene. Yeah, it was. It's a good rule of thumb to just assume you're always being scammed. Frankly,
And who
Not
knows
if you
truly.
shop at
Makes
the
you
commissary.
constantly bitter.
What's the commissary?
Yeah, at the base
That's
exchange.
where us Uncle Sam cucks get to go, and it's supposed to be 25% cheaper than anything you can find in town.
Nice.
It is pretty sweet. I did take as much advantage of that as I could when I was
Yeah.
in.
When I was in
When I was in the military.
back in my day.
Back in my day, I used to serve my country.
Think of it.
Got no thanks for it.
Also, I
Oh,
noticed.
do you have anything else to add on dynamic surge pricing?
I noticed
What the-
Tyler's
What the heck is this?
the royal match. This looks
Yeah.
cursed.
So I don't know how often you guys encounter advertisements in your daily life. I try my best to avoid them. And recently, whenever I have encountered them, I've seen some type of advertisement like the ones we have on screen. And for our audio listeners, what we're looking at are a bunch of famous or relatively famous actors who have started advertising mobile games, specifically Royal Match or Royal Kingdom, which is very cringe, frankly.
Do
And I think
people
it's
actually play this shit, or is it a money laundering
God.
scheme?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever met.
Taylor.
I really
anyone
don't
playing
know.
Taylor, I don't want to dox anybody, so I'm going to put this ball in your court. But I know somebody in your life who got in quite a lot of trouble for playing games like this.
Yeah, some
shit.
people
Your
are.
video is frozen.
Hmm?
Your video is frozen, by the way.
Yeah, I don't. My computer's having a bit of a conniption.
No, it's fine.
Can you hear me at
You
least?
can turn off video if it helps.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. 1 minute you're playing. I don't even remember what his game
Battle-
of
I think it
choice was. Battle Pirates.
Yeah, Battle Pirates.
Next minute you're $80 down the hole every couple weeks.
Jesus.
What was that called again? Coining, right? When you-
Oh yeah, coiners. He always hated the coiners.
Coiners.
you can't beat them, join them.
There's coiners.
If you can't beat them, coin them.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, I think this hits on a couple different levels. A, because these rich and famous actors are taking away jobs from lesser known actors who are just trying to make a name for themselves as an ad spokesperson. And they're also promoting really shitty apps that when you play them, you more than often have to make a microtransaction to play the game.
I have a question about this. So last week on the discussion about Daniel Plainview and There Will Be Blood, we were talking about how it seems that Daniel doesn't actually even like making money. He just enjoys the competition. Do you think they just like pouring out? Why does Jimmy Fallon need more money?
I guess you get attention when you're in an ad.
You
Mm.
think they just
Like
enjoy
any
the
attention
content?
you get doing a royal match ad is good,
But it's got to be so degrading. I mean,
especially for these legacy actors and actresses that definitely don't need the money or the exposure.
I
Maybe
just
it's
can't
just
imagine
attention
doing
for
that.
attention's sake.
It's just
Very good
wild.
point.
It's just wild to me. If you're Jimmy
They're
Fallon,
just
people watch you every night. Why do you need to degrade yourself for the shittiest game ever?
true. It could be like a Riata comedy festival type situation where Royal Match just had endless piles of shekels and they
Whoa,
offered Jimmy Fallon
Whoa.
whoa coins coins. They had an endless supply of silver cutlery that they were willing to dole out to people to be in their ads. And they made Jimmy an offer he could not refuse. I don't know. I don't like them. I don't like these ads. And I think they're a sign of something worse to come.
Terrible.